So, Maxor posted a new video today, apparently, 11 hours ago. My brother was complaining to me earlier this morning that he hadn't seen a new Maxor video in like almost 2 months. And we had actually looked it up and just like, oh yeah, it's just 2 months. Less than 4 hours later, they dropped this. So, it was a sign from the heavens that we must watch it as the start of the stream. So I'm just going to press play on it, and we're going to see what their opinion of Crimson Desert is. Considering the second half of the title, Crimson Desert Review, the $133 million mistake. I think we know at least some of their opinion on it. Tiny Gobbo time. Oh, I've been inverted.
This video has a lot of footage of people smacking into the ground at Mach 10 speed. Crimson Desert is one of the least understood games that I have ever covered on this channel, because either you've never touched it and only vaguely recognize it from this tweet, which extols the virtues of being able to beat women, or you have actually played it and immediately forgot about the entire thing because playing this game is like falling asleep
Post the video.
to
Hey,
the Shrek
thank you,
Forever
Seth.
After DVD menu. So for the majority who don't know, Crimson Desert is the newest innovation in AI-powered open-world gaming technology, miraculously allowing the player to freely move in any direction without the need for loading screens, all while featuring riveting combat, intense platforming, and meticulous collection of ancient...
So, I don't actually know much about Crimson Desert, but already just steamrolling me with information. Why are there mechs? Who put mechs in what I thought was a fantasy role-playing game? What the fuck happened in development for this game? I'm super curious.
precursor artifacts. Except no, the game I am actually describing is Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy for the PlayStation 2, which you can actually run natively on your PC without emulation using this cool software that decompiles your ISO called OpenGoal. Except no again, I am actually playing Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy inside of The Sims 3. For this reason, Crimson Desert is also a very polarizing game. Either you love it, or you think that it is unrepentant slop. Slop, as a term, has gained a great deal of popularity for denoting a type of content that is derivative, mass-produced, made simply to be consumed by the largest number of cattle in the least amount of time.
Okay.
With various low-quality YouTubers even being forced to sell their souls to Gamer Sup's energy drinks for money, selling their viewers various zany types of energy slop at the low price of 40 cents per serving and somehow not changing with inflation. I personally use Gamer Sup's in order to work my 10-hour...
I'm sorry. That was such a smooth transition into the ad. I just need to call it out for what it is. Let's just hitting me with that out of nowhere. What the fuck? Oh, mechs are not anathema to fantasy. Just ask Talos. That is fair. That is fair, Chaos.
shifts at the job factory so I can have the privilege of producing so
Fucking
much shareholder value.
I should have known from the thumbnail, but actual train,
or the free
Jesus.
market will be forced to build a data center in your house. Or
Please don't.
perhaps that is all commie bullshit. It's not like baiting people with politics on the internet is really easy or anything. So
That's
to
true.
prove the political neutrality and objectivity of my news and fact-orientated YouTube channel, for my next trick, I will misgender a non-binary person while acknowledging that this video was written on stolen land. Though I will have to comment that I am personally against the mass immigration of Paludese refugees into the sovereign borders of Demonis. Someone once made the mistake of letting Greymanes in, and they have already formed an ethno-state in Hernand, right next to the Goblin one. And while calling this game slop isn't exactly an accurate term, it is a funny one. So that is the one that I'm going to be using now.
Jesus.
Try to look at the terrain design for like 3 seconds and tell me with a straight face that the art direction was not done by ChatGPT. Goals. What are my goals when making this video? Make discourse about this video game absolutely impossible to have. Make every analysis and opinion about it completely irrelevant for no reason. Let us agree to never reconcile any opinions that we might be thinking of right now. Features. The main selling point of Crimson Desert is that it has features in it, making it the ideal game for those who love to consume content, like the experience of scrolling YouTube shorts if they
Just so much happening all at once. And I agree, I've heard about the features, at least some of them, but like, What is even happening anymore? I'm so confused. They were being attacked by like 15 mechs at once out of nowhere. Still not as smooth as Seth's segue into an enlisted ad on his Earth Defense Force 5 video. That one was the smoothest I've ever seen, lol. Yeah. Too much? It is. It really is. There's so much going on all at once. That part of that is Maxor's way of doing things, but also a lot of that seems to be how everything is going all at once in this. This is fine.
Where YouTube belongs. It plays
Yep.
like a manhwa reads, and it reads like an Instagram reel about my grandma getting hit by a bazooka.
Damn.
Crimson Desert has robust combat, various bosses, advanced puzzle solving for the next 3 hours or so, house
Okay.
building, armor dyeing, Farmville, fishing, liberal use of an Evangelion, and so much more than is actually fun. Why does Game This So Many Inside of It have our things? Well, Crimson Desert is first and foremost a game made by South Koreans, which doesn't really sound like a relevant detail until you...
Okay. I know what the relevant detail here is, at least I think so. StarCraft, specifically StarCraft 2. A lot happening all at once is their bread and butter.
First, understand that Korean society is a series of cram schools and corporate humiliation rituals, and sometimes in the middle, you get to play
Yeah.
StarCraft. 75%
there it is,
of young people in
StarCraft.
this nation want to leave it. We are
Damn.
talking about the closest thing that humanity has to an endangered species. This is a nation that is actively looking to occupy itself so that death seems like it is coming a little bit faster. Why is this relevant to our game? Because every single conversation, every menu, every person, and every mechanic in Crimson Desert exists
HTTP News, Grimmel audio log coming soon, with Chapter 6 not long after. Hell yeah. Cruelty Squad 1 was so much worse. I mean, I found that one to be perfectly understandable and reasonable, so maybe I'm the weird one. Gobbo, are you hearing this shit? The shit this guy is saying, or am I having a stroke? No, I'm hearing it. It's just that he's so fast-paced. We're only 4 minutes in, and it feels like he's been talking about it for at least 10. He is fast-paced, and he's legitimately merging with his editing software. That is what's happening right now. Holy shit. I mean, I don't really get it. Fair enough. I enjoy it. Maxor's stuff is great. Am I just too autistic for this? Nah, you're fine, Silk.
solely to give you a different ethnicity to cleanse from the face of the earth. So the entire notion that I should be paying attention to literally anything that anyone is saying feels like an insult to my intelligence. I know the outcome of this conversation we're having right now. It is the same as the last 30 conversations I've been dragged into, and every single one of them ends with a demand for goblin genocide. And look, okay, I am definitely not saying that this game might have...
Unfortunately, I can't play this game, because then they would demand the goblin genocide, and I can't do that. Look at me. I'm absorbing all this perfectly fine, lol. The only thing I'd pause for is to make sure I read certain things correctly. Valid. No, you're normal. Yep.
A problematic depiction of goblins or anything. I just think that it's kind of weird that they happen to live as a minority of inherently conniving traders, black marketeers, and profit-driven debt collectors with the sole honor of being able to charge white people usury and run all of Hernan's financial institutions. I'm sure that...
Damn. Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't end up learning very much about this game. Holy shit. Damn, that is... Wow. I know it's made by North Korea, and Asia historically does not have a good understanding of racial stereotypes and a whole bunch of other stuff. At least when it comes to foreigners, but like, damn.
This has absolutely no relation to any hypothetical stereotypes that may or may not exist in real life. I just think that this game might not be for you if you are Italian. Racism is a core mechanic of this game's narrative. The literal main quest of the game is entirely about a never-ending hereditary blood feud between two slightly different variations of Scandinavian Mayo monkeys. This is a role-playing game where I am forced to roleplay as an Icelandic Josef Mengele, genocidally cleansing the entire face of Payloon because Cliff, as a licensed therapist apparently, can only ever respond to Hitler's dialogue with slightly different variations of yes and what happened. To put it simply, questing in this game is an an absolute nightmarish slog, predicated by the idea that dialogue in and of itself is either a route to American historical reenactments or a vehicle to a 2-hour puzzle in which you slowly and manually move boxes around, hoping in vain that you will swiftly die of old age. I want you to imagine this given scenario. You're playing an open world game and definitely not a spreadsheet with a realistic scan of Delaware on top. So you say to yourself,
oh, damn. Every single time. It's just banger after banger, but just the realistic Delaware one. Fuck. Also, once again, I recommend Escaflowne. Gorgeous animation from the 90s, huge stompy mechs, and legit unpredictable plot twists. That sounds fun. When suddenly pause and take it too long to speak, it's funny. True. I'm just shocked sometimes. Maxor does a great job with their videos, but even then, it's sometimes just, holy shit, I just can't help but laugh.
I would like to see locations and experience new areas outside of my current spatial
Just
understanding because
randomly
I am
drones.
human.
What the fuck?
Then you see a castle in the distance and think to yourself, wow, I can't wait to see what adventures await me over there. Only to discover that the castle has no enemies inside of it, no loot you can actually find, and the knowledge that you have now wasted 20 minutes of your narrowing lifespan. How devious and quirky. Then, 7 hours of real time later, you just happen to be taking a random quest that you found on a spreadsheet, wherein this desaturated ice dweller has the actual caucasity to inform me of this mysterious and hitherto unknown castle in the distance containing unique enemies and an entire boss fight in it, because I cannot emphasize it enough, this scenario is every single thing in Crimson Desert.
They quest lock dungeons. No, that would actually piss me off if I was playing that game. Holy shit. Quest locking dungeons. Oh god. I know that sometimes happens in MMOs, but like, what the fuck? I'm just absorbing all of this. Fair, Silk. Cruelty, worms. Why? I know, right? What the fuck? A room might not have anything of value in it. Oh, nothing spawns before the quest. Yeah. What the fuck? That's... Not even Skyrim does that, and you would expect at least one quest to be causing some sort of weird shit with that, right? But no, for the most part, Skyrim does not do anything relating to that. That's so weird.
In this game, you can grab a tree and use it to catapult yourself. You can clean objects with a broom. You can scramble your brains like Sonic the Hedgehog. And you can even go fishing, just like in Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy for the PlayStation 2. But when I decided that I wanted to see this castle, this mountain, this battlefield with 9,000 robotic bees, and this Crimson Desert in the video game called...
Crimson Desert.
I forget the name. I was told to come back later after I had spoken to a random rock 5 zip codes away and listened to the most boring explanation of anything I have ever seen. This problem gets so much worse than you think it is. It is not just castles, there are entire nations in this game that exist purely in the context of the main quest, and after that are literally never seen or heard from ever again.
That's really rough, Jesus. As confusing it was to literally trip over quest items in Morrowind, it would have made the world feel less real if things only spawned after quests. Exactly, yeah. By the way, I found an engraved silver bowl in a bandit cave in Morrowind once. Anyone will know what that was about off the top of your head? I wish. I found an engraved candlestick mold in a bandit dungeon for once in Skyrim. Never figured out what it was for. Gep. Hey, Chaos. I see you're in YouTube and in Twitch now. P.S. Head over Belek Falls first. I had no idea. Oh, by the way, everybody, I managed to get the lore-accurate Dagoth mod working in Nolvis, so that's perfectly good now. I will be adding more shit as I go, though. More joke shit, of course.
Just like my dad, the game does not expect you to actually have a memory about anything at all.
What the fuck?
Entire mechanics will just show up and then randomly disappear into the void for 30 hours. Did you happen to like the dialogue mechanics with fucking 10 seconds of pausing between each line? Yeah, me neither. So why is it in the game for exactly 2 mandatory quests?
Wow,
Can we please make
okay.
that number 0 because it feels like
Motherfucker, was that Zeppelins?
mandatory quests? Can we please?
So no, they just have World War II happening in the background over here. Meanwhile, right in front of you is the fantasy-oriented everything. Okay. Who on the team has schizophrenia? That's what it feels like. What is happening right now? I feel like I'm hearing voices from beyond telling me to do things that are just horrific. What the hell is happening? There was a pool of water with a dredge, those aquatic crabs, octopus people, and bandit cave too. Cruelty! Why am I being bonked? Loragith what does he do? Show up in your dreams and introduce you to people he killed as if he was hosting a party? Because that's what I remember of him from Morrowind. I'm still getting over the Mantis Max. I know, right? What the fuck is even happening with this game? I'm so confused. Those are ants that are also robots. Oh my god.
That number 0 because it feels like I am having a stroke right now. And not the good kind. Hitherto unknown antagonists who are now suddenly really important to the plot, apparently, keep appearing and get killed within the span of 30 minutes, never to be seen or mentioned ever again. Everything is paced like it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure if every single stand user talked in fucking Mad Libs. That is why Crimson Desert is so forgettable, because the actual game itself is constantly forgetting. The literal second that the player looks away from something or someone, that thing ceases to exist. And believe me, I really tried to get them to exist, okay? There is just nothing here. But oh my god, Max, there are things in the game. Haven't you seen the things to do in the world, Max? Haven't you fought these fucking 4 identical copies of the same guy?
Okay, I feel like somebody got him this game, or he was told to do a review on this game so many times, and then when he finally played it, he lost his goddamn mind, because holy shit, he is so unhinged in this one. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? Also, Gep, I kind of write like this. If you're willing to take things as they come from every random shit, you get an insanely creative setting. I now have a family feud involving the entire galaxy jumping in on it, with one side having made themselves immortal and the other side with literal gods on it. Damn. Gameplay focus, first game. It kind of is, yeah. It definitely seems to be more in line with that, but like the coherency right now is just making me lose my mind. I'm going to refill my water, and when I get back, I hope things make sense. They will not, but I hope so as well. I'm back. Welcome back, Chaos.
The quest where you rescue this goblin and he tells you to go fight the 50 simultaneous wolves? Yes, I have, dipshit. And look, if you like things to do, you know, if you're like a 40-year-old dad who just wants to come home and be assigned a task as is their natural inclination,
Damn.
I am not going to yuck someone else's yum, but it's probably because you were not given a soul at birth.
Holy
Does
shit.
anything that I do affect the world? No. I fight bosses, I do puzzles, I take a random quest from a guy and watch a mass shooting happen at the circus completely unprompted by anything. I go back to my camp, I sell the bodies that I looted to build up my Farmville minigame, I go to sleep, and then I do it all over again, and you know what? I like the Farmville minigame. Chapter 2, the Farmville minigame. Please hear me out, okay? Because if this game's world isn't even going to try to motivate me at all, the least it can do is let me motivate me at all. There is...
He likes the Farmville Sims so much more than the actual game. Oh, you know what? Considering his content, this is completely accurate information. This is completely fair. Hugs the cute cuddle goblin. Thank you very much, Lane. Very kind of you.
Genuine progression in the Farmville minigame, and frankly, it's a really good idea because unlike the main quest, I am the one deciding what I do with my camp. I decide what weapons I'm going to upgrade. Maybe I want to chop down a tree so we can have wood. Maybe I send someone to get that wood and use that wood to build a farm. Maybe I identify an unprotected rival ethnicity in the mountains so that I may purloin that which they no longer need, sell them to my blacksmith, and invest the proceedings into a stock index fund. Maybe I want to go mining, but bandits have occupied the quarry, so I have to kill them. My gear isn't good enough, so I need to upgrade by getting a better smith, and that takes money, and oh my god, there is almost a game here. I can choose where to invest my money. I can invest in myself by purchasing 200 rotisserie chickens, and I had to search every single grocery store in the game for this, please laugh. I can invest in the Bank of Naples, where I can actually choose my investment strategy on the open market like some sort of perfidious Dutchman, or invest it in the purchase of a new cart and the packaging of unique goods, then looking up where to sell those goods, and then traversing the map and then running them back to another post. And it now just dawns on me that I am making a more compelling story than the narrative of any quest in this game, and it's not even close. If you
Motherfucker, he started playing Crusader Kings 3 in this game via all the crazy meshing of all these other systems relating to the Farmville shit. He basically started playing a completely different game. The Farmville minigame bit came in from so out of left field, it's like a fucking meteor hitting the baseball pitch. You're not wrong, yeah. The fucking stock market is in this game. Yes, apparently. Victoria too, actually. I would not be surprised, honestly. Like, holy crap.
Want me to remember a location? Do not make me save it. Make it mean something to me. Make the liberation of Palun from the Danish people unlock new territory and resources to exploit. Make exploration uncover new and lucrative trades so I can exploit the differences in wages to build a Labubu factory. Make anything in the story matter to the salt of the earth goblin skinner. And yet, I still have to mine random outcroppings of iron and copper like a Congolese child, even though I have an entire ethno-state at my personal command, because this game cannot decide between dialectical materialism or great man theory. One subscribing to the idea that change can only come through a single man's drive for profound and tremendous violence. That if there is a problem, it is because there are bad people in charge, they are bad because they decide to be bad, and all we have to do is—
Oh shit. Huh, that's weird. I'm gonna have to refund that for you, Jaeger. I think my lizard stuff fucked up somehow. That's weird. I'll have to fix that after the stream is over. Why is Bonk working but not Lizard Clock? That should be working just fine. That's so weird. I'll have to refund those for you, Jaeger. My apologies.
Solve the issue is to kill them.
Damn.
Nothing fundamentally changes except that we have to put the right people in charge, and the right people are always me. While the other one postulates that the advancement of society ultimately comes from collective material advancement and the endless struggle between differing modes of production, eventually culminating in the birth of a bourgeois goblin class. And with these two competing philosophies in the same game and indeed focused into a single Napoleonic figure who
then take care of that, Jaeger.
in conversation, leads us to the final synthesis representing all the flaws and contradictions of Crimson Desert itself. This game, genuinely and accidentally, love it or hate it, is liberalism, and in conclusion, would be unable to commit to a coherent position on Israel.
Damn.
I hope that you liked reading my politically charged video essay about the role of autistic non-binary people under capitalism or something, as much as I liked writing it. I basically made up this entire video script, but in reality, no one is actually going to call me out if I lie, because ultimately, that requires actually remembering a game called Crimson Desert.
Damn.
You know, which is actually pretty similar to a game called Jak and Daxter.
Oh my goodness. Once again, another banger from Maxor. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the fuck? What the fuck is not in this game? This is like one of those indie games with zero graphics and an entire actual world inside it, as imagined by a schizophrenic, but with actual graphics. Oh, this is reminding me of Dwarf Fortress and Caves of Quood. You're not wrong. That's kind of ridiculous, yeah. Okay.